If you're a heat and air conditioning technician, or even a salesperson, what's a word track that you could use at the end of your sales process to overcome some of the objections that you're facing? And why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Bell, coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets, on the perfect day to talk about sales and business, and a fantastic day to talk about you. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. Inevitably, at some point, you are going to go through your sales process, and on the timeline, you are going to be towards the end. You've already rolled price, and let's say that you gave 3 options. Okay, so I'm going to give a heating and air example. If you're not in the industry, modify accordingly and use what's going on. So basic system could be single stage, meaning that it just turns on and off, like systems have from like 1940, 1950 when they first started putting them in the homes. And let's just say, for sake of argument, that's 10K. And then they have a 2-stage system where there's 2 speeds, right? Where it's a high speed and a low speed, and that unit's 15K. And then, last of all, you got the granddaddy of them all, where there's 100 speeds for the heating and the cooling, and that's what we refer to as a variable speed. And that one's 20K. These numbers are probably off, by the way, right? So you're sitting there and you're talking to the client that you're meeting with, and they're like, "Hey, I really don't know if I want what you have to offer." And let's say you were in the middle, you were the 2-stage unit, you were like right here. Well, what you got to do is figure out: are you too high or are you too low? And a mistake that I see salespeople make a lot is they think that every time they get an objection, they're too high. I'm a bells and whistles guy for the most part. The more bells and whistles it has, the more that I want it. Doesn't mean I always buy it, but sometimes when salespeople are like, "Well, it's what I would buy," and it's like, "Cause I buy it because it's cheap." I don't want that answer. I don't want anything that has to do with cheap. So, did we miss the mark? That is the question you ask. But before we get into that, you should absolutely join HVACTechSecrets.com. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel, which means private coaching, private training, discounted coaching, discounted training. It's an email publication, right? So part of your investigation skills when things go wrong is to ask questions. Most salespeople here, I want to think about it, I'm getting other bids, I'm talking to other people, and they're like, "Well, let me just get you a discount." No, you don't know what the problem is. There's no diagnostic here. Like if you look at a ladder diagram inside of a furnace and it's not working, it says, "If this, then that. If this, then that." We're going to treat the sales process the same way, right? So lockdown technique in sales is, are you happy with the company? And they go, "Yeah." Are you happy with the warranties and guarantees? And they go, "Yeah." Are you happy with the equipment? And they go, Now it's not necessarily a price issue. It's probably a piece of equipment. So if you are on this path right here and the person's like, "Yeah, right now we are on," that's a sad arrow. Oh my goodness. Let's fix that. Right now we're on the 2-stage. Well, was I off the mark? I went through my lockdown technique. You happy with the company? Happy with the warranties and guarantees? You happy with me? Right? You happy with the piece of equipment? No. Now we figured out it's the equipment. Well, did we go too low? That absolutely has to be one of the questions. Is it everything you wanted? Did we go too low? Well, you know what? I was hoping to get the variable speed, and you really kind of pushed against it. It doesn't seem like that's the one that you wanted to give me. You have to be aware that sometimes the objection that you face and the problem you have isn't something that costs not enough, or is something that costs not enough, and you didn't have them on the right option. You didn't talk to them about the thing that they really wanted. If you're making the assumption that everybody wants cheap, you missed a question in your sales process. Look, kind of give me an idea. When you go to buy a car, are you the "I want to roll up the window by myself" guy or girl and have no power locks, right? No mirrors, no electric seats? Hey, if you're too young to remember, that's how windows were, right? You had to crank them. Or are you the person who wants the massage seats, right? That wants the steering wheel, it's got the hand warmer? Are you a bells and whistle person, or are you like the bare bones basic, right? They go, "Well, I'm the bare bones basic." Would you like to hear about your opportunities? No. Well, here's the thing. Sometimes when you get that objection, they're too afraid to go back and say, "Can you talk to me about the steering wheel that has the hand warmer and the seats that have the massager in there and the heads-up display?" I'm giving you a completely different reference outside of probably your industry. You have to ask really good questions and figure out where they're at. Wait, hey, did we miss the mark? Start with a lockdown technique. You like the company, you like the warranties and guarantees, you like me. There's 4 or 5 questions on that lockdown technique. And then are you happy with the option that we went over? And almost all the time, it's going to be no. Did we go too low has got to absolutely be one of the questions, because most salespeople are going to say, did we go too high? Be aware, did we miss the mark is a very good question that allows for you to discover what the situation is. You got one of three things to do from here. Just 1 of 3, find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, you know what you got to do. Share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.